Welcome, everyone, to the Sonoma Spiel. My name is Tim with the Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau. It's a lovely fall day in Sonoma, and of course, I'm paid to say that, but I would say that anyway, because it is a lovely fall day. Went to the market today, had a good time. I do have to get a little shout out because I didn't have lunch yet, but I did get a snack. I got a bocadillo. I got two Costa tacos. I got the correct type of taco, which is always Al Pastor. They're fantastic. He did a really good job, but I'm still a bit hungry, and that's good news because today I have a very special guest. And I know every week I say I have a very special guest, but this time I do actually mean it. This time I have a very special guest who runs one of the top restaurants in Sonoma Valley for lunch and breakfast and other items. It's a fantastic place. He's a local businessman. He's been very involved in the community. And it is Salvador Chavez with Picazo Café. Salvador, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me, inviting me. Finally made this happen.
It's great. I'm so glad. Yeah, kind of last minute, and it worked out, man.
I think if we would have planned it, it wouldn't happen. That's my life.
100%.
Yeah,
yeah, because you were coming from someplace else. You said.
I was out of town. No, not too far. I was in Napa, but still, I was like trying to finish wrap up over there to make sure I can get here to this.
I love that.
Yeah,
and that's what. Since we do record these on Friday afternoons, sometimes it works well for people, and for other people, like oftentimes restaurant people, it's kind of hard to get because they're prepping or they're doing stuff.
Getting ready for the weekend.
Yeah, getting ready for the weekend, man. So that's the way it is. But I am glad I did go to Picazo Café.
Yep.
And we'll be talking a bit about it. But this milkshake, I got a milkshake with espresso in it. They said that you like these?
Yeah, for sure.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
Are they on the menu?
They are. Yeah, we're adding another ube milkshake soon.
Ube's
Yeah,
good.
ube good. Yeah. But yeah, milkshake. Yeah, I think it's funny as we're going to probably talk a lot about this. Is just I know for a fact that most people still to date don't know what current Picazo's does all the way.
Right.
Yeah, just because historically speaking, we've evolved along the way and we've pivoted from not so much like a specific model to another model, but it was pivots in the menu that I think people. I had a friend who I went to high school with, and the other day I was there in the morning. I was taking out some dishes, and she saw and she said, "Oh, my dad really wanted to go to brunch. And I just saw you bring out." And at the time, it was like we have the waffle maker for fresh waffles, very particular recipe for that. Chicken and waffle we do,
Fantastic.
And then I forget what other. The huevo rancheros, which look very nice on the plate. Right. And she was like, "I didn't know you guys did that. I thought you guys just still did sandwiches because that was kind of what the original place was."
That's how you started as.
I mean, the idea was, and I can admit this now, like. I don't think we really had any idea what we were going to be doing when we did it back then. In some ways, right? We had the space.
Right.
We knew we wanted to do it, but I still remember the conversations leading up to that with my parents. It was like, "Hey, what are we going to do?" And it was like, "Oh, we're going to do a Mexican market. We're going to do this." There was it was literally that kind of conversation.
Let's go back to the beginning here. Picazo Cafe. It's just outside of town. If you are a local, you're a West Side restaurant. Or Springs,
I think we consider ourselves Springs.
Springs, yeah. And oftentimes West Side is caused by the Verano people. Can't tell if they're the Springs or not. They get very particular about this.
Yeah. I think we've been adopted as Springs people. I think so. Yeah.
So you're in the El Verano neighborhood, correct? Which is outside of the city limits. It's in the county. You are on the corner of what are those two streets?
Arnold and Grove.
And it's like an old building. Like
very old.
What was that before it was you guys?
The original place. Well, before us, it was Fellini and Eichenbaum, which was a deli.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a deli.
So kind of those delis that would like people who work like probably in ag and like construction guys like just go.
Yeah, and it was a little bit more. I would say more upscale. Like I think Jules, who had the place, was a little bit more ahead of her time, thinking of doing. Very organic and that kind of, and I don't know if it was completely ever adopted as much as it should have been.
Got it.
But she's a great cook and she made great food. But before that, it was Bill's Drive-In, and that's what everyone kind of remembers there.
Okay.
And then the building that today where people would sit in, like our dine-in area, which is really small, that apparently didn't used to exist, and it would get to the point where. There would be a flap to open. Horses would pull up there back. I'm assuming a long time ago.
This was Bill's ride-in before.
Yeah, exactly. And they would come in, and there would be beers in a cooler, and they would grab them and pay them, and they would just hang out there like that. That's kind of like the feel of the place. This is once again the owners tell me this. The Poncia family have been here for a long time. They kind of mentioned to me, but the Bill's Drive-In was, if I'm not mistaken, their father's, and so they ran it for a long time as a family, and then it became other businesses.
And
later
you can tell. Each business has kind of improved it, added on, because it's got a peculiar shape where you can someone put
everything
this room
uneven.
over here.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like the original place on the far left. Well, that if you notice a tall building, I think it was a water tower. That's what they tell me.
Okay.
And then that's kind of, so that backside is kind of funky.
Right.
I mean, to tell you that it's been tough to get furniture in and out of, particularly appliances.
Oh, yeah.
Very difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very
Because
difficult.
kitchens actually need large appliances like
100%. It's the stove and the deli fridges and all those, like, they're not fun. We have to take out wheels. We have to take off doors. We've had to do a lot of different things, figure out how to do it from the front, move all our furniture. So now we've gone smarter. After the fire,
Right.
we were able to really understand how we want to navigate the place. And so now even the furniture, this probably means nothing to people because you walk in thinking, you know, they're just getting food, right? But the little, what would you call it? Like, just like the placeholder area right to the left of the door is actually on wheels. Yeah, it's on wheels now because when we move that, so we can get furniture in and out or appliances in and out. Yeah,
because a lot of people walk in through the back door because they park in the parking lot. Yeah, they walk through this beautiful patio, some trees and stuff like that.
Yeah, we have a little garden in the back.
A little garden right there, and a lot of people walk in. I guess it's your front door, side door. Again, you've got to see it to understand.
Yeah, I think it's funky, and I think we've adopted it, to be honest with you, because I know one time we took a stab at a big restaurant, the one on Highway 12. Didn't work out for us over through COVID and all that good stuff. And all I could say now after that experience is that I would prefer to do 100 funky Picassos, like funky spaces like that, rather than one big restaurant again. And in my brain, that makes more sense now after what we dealt with. Yeah.
Let me ask, Sal, I can call you Sal?
Yeah, of course.
Did you grow up in a restaurant business, or was this kind of new to you? No. Okay.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I think my path, because now in entrepreneurship, I think fully embracing that term, I've obviously I'm in the spirit space. I do a lot of different, I've tried a lot of different businesses. But that business, what ultimately led me to this life. Because when we were doing it, my parents and I, when we were sitting down to make that happen, I remember basically my parents were wanting to do a business.
Okay.
The building said for lease. They had me talk to the owner. Owner said, "Hey, build me a business plan, give it to me, and I want to look at it." I did, and I still remember his face. And back then, I didn't know left from right.
You had no restaurant experience.
Not at all. And I remember I gave it to him, and he said, "Who wrote this?" And I said, "I did." He goes, "No, you didn't." And I said, "Yes, I did." Kind of like offended by the idea, and I'm assuming it was because it was decent enough because he accepted us in.
Right.
And but leading up to that business plan, we literally sat down. My best friend Eduardo was with us at our table in Super Vista, where my dad and my parents still live. And it was like, okay, what are we going to do? Like, oh, we should do this. Like concepts, literally.
So your family was just like, let's do a family business.
Let's do a business, yeah.
Were your parents involved in small business before that?
Never. My dad, I think my mom aspirationally always wanted to be in business.
Okay.
I think she very much wanted to. My dad and his family had an experience of having an ice cream shop in Mexico City at one point.
Okay.
When they moved that from Michoacán. So I think there was experience of that. And no, let me retract. At one point during my high school years, my parents did have a little small boutique clothing store by the post office.
Okay.
And so that
Sonoma Post Office here in California.
right on Highway 12, where recently that Empire barbershop was moved recently. Okay. That space was my parents' boutique, and they sold uniforms and stuff like that. And it wasn't a long time, but they had that. And then after that, nothing. And then it was like this was like the next thing in their brain as like, let's do something together. I thought I was at the time going to school, college, Sonoma State, and my thought,
hold on, go Seawolves.
Go Seawolves, yeah. And I was literally thinking, okay, I'm going to leave here, go work 9 to 5 somewhere. Kind of that's what I thought.
Go work for the man.
Yeah, and then little by little, it became obvious to me that was not going to be the case. I built this idea with my parents, and then opened it day one. It was by myself, really early, trying to figure out what we were doing, and it opened though. And
you had never, like, how'd you get a cook? Or was it just like...
No, because back then it was cold cuts.
Oh,
it was deli. It was sandwiches and so what I'm really proud of today is that back then everything we bought, every sauce, everything was made, done.
So you would buy pre-made food.
Pre-made everything. Yeah, pre-made everything. Repackage it, put it together in a certain way. You wanted a ham sandwich with no pickles and cheese. That's what we were doing. Cut it in half, you leave.
Okay.
And then eventually what happened is I left the cafe. I didn't leave it, but I had an opportunity to open up what I thought was going to be a sushi and steakhouse. Didn't happen that way. It was going to be where currently today the swim club is.
Oh, okay.
And met a local gentleman who had a previous sushi spot on Broadway.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then we partnered, did it over where she is today, or I forgot how you pronounce it, right by Lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, by Park Point.
Right.
That spot was our spot together, and in that spot, I learned how to cook.
Okay.
So what happened?
Post college, you were like, he threw you in there. He's like, hey, kid.
Well, what happened was my side of the partnership was going to be front of the house, but just like every business, every restaurant, I should say, not every. I give more credit to people that do really well the whole time.
Right.
Honeymoon period, killed it. Right. Busy as heck.
Right.
And then when it started slowing down, it all of a sudden was like, hey, we can't afford another chef.
Right.
Like, hop in here. Get back there. And so I got back there, and at the time we had, besides himself as the owner and also chef, we had a really good sous chef.
Okay.
And that guy was so talented that I remember my life experiences in terms of how I built my crafts, if you will, or, anything, it has been through inquiry. Okay. So I would just ask this guy, why do you do that like that? Why you add salt to that? Why you do that? He was like, man, you have so many damn questions. And long story short, I sold out of that partnership. I went back to the cafe with my parents. I said, hey, we're going to do a kitchen. Because at the time we had no hood, nothing.
Okay.
We're going to do a kitchen. I'm going to pull a loan. We're going to do a kitchen and change things up. And they were like, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Right.
They're like, this isn't like a good idea at all.
Probably older, and they're like,
well, yeah, they're
just making money. Let's just do this.
Yeah, well, yeah. And it was like, we have, I will say,
you're the young guy,
creatures
a gamble. Right?
Creatures of habit. We were doing things the way we were doing things at the time. We were known for our burger, but we were only doing it Friday, Saturday, out of a grill in the back.
Did not know that.
We were doing a grill in the back. Literally every Friday was this fire drill where we would go to Parsons and fill up the gas tanks and bring them back. And we had a fryer that we had to bring it out and carry it out, turn it on.
You built an outdoor kitchen essentially.
Well, no, so that was there. Yes, exactly. Yeah. It was an outdoor kitchen, full outdoor kitchen. We would only do it Friday, Saturdays.
This is in the back patio?
Back patio. Okay. It was under a little like overhang. Okay. And it was, it might sound more glorious than it was, or it is, but it was just a small area. Right. Literally, like talking about like I forget what brand it is, but just like a regular grill you'd have in your backyard.
Yeah, of course.
The fryer, and then tables that made up our build-up area for the burgers. And it would be Friday, Saturday only because Sundays we were closed.
Okay.
And then eventually, I want to build this kitchen. So I build the kitchen. We had to go through the path of permits and all that. And this building's funky. So, like, getting the hood in there.
Like I said, I don't know where the front door is because it's got 2 side doors.
Yeah, it's actually, there's another one, too, closer to Juanita's that we just avoid. But we make the investment. We get the hood going. We finally get it cleared. And I still remember the Friday, which is the day of the grill, where I told my dad, I said, Dad, let's do it inside. The line's ready. The fryer's there. My dad's like, no, it's just not going to be the same. It's not going to work. He's nervous that the burgers aren't going to. And at the time, we didn't even know about BTUs, like in terms of like what the power. Exactly. So I didn't know how to frame it to him. Like, Dad, I know that thing is going to grill it better. And he's like, no way. Long story short, I win that battle. Good. We turn on those grills. And my dad, after the service, was like, that was way better than outside because it was just way faster. Yeah. The char was better because we've always used open grill.
You're saying you had a cast iron griddle inside?
No, we do the char broiler.
Your char broiler.
Yeah, so it's open flame. That's been like our style forever.
Okay.
And that's what the outdoor was.
So I got to take a side note here.
Yeah, go ahead.
You guys are famous for your burger.
You've won
Best Burger.
We've won Best Burger for like over 10 years now, I think.
Yeah. So it's funny when you mention, Picazo Café, people are like, what kind of food is it, as we're talking about? It is eclectic in that, like, it seems like you and your wife, and maybe your mom and dad will put different things on there that you like.
Yeah, now I would say, now the influence has 100% been like our experiences, Keen and I's experiences traveling.
Okay.
And particularly myself, because of the spirits business, traveling the country and actually now a few parts of the world, where I've tried certain things and I've reinterpreted them in our menu.
I love this.
But the burger still becomes a burger. And I will say, because the one thing about our burger, to be fair to the award, is we don't do any specific thing too crazy. Like, there's a lot of good burgers around the area, not just Sonoma, but the broader area. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's because they make a particular patty, or they're using a certain type of goat cheese or something like this. I think that the value in the burger that we've done is always try to be conscious of price point and just keep it very consistent. So it's flavorful, but it's like you're not going to be like, oh my God, that particular whatever, like once again, just cheese or something like that. It's not really that. I would say that. Now, within our menu of our burgers, we do have some burgers that have stood out, like the Don Chava burger that we make after my dad.
Okay.
That one has our braised pulled pork additional to the patty.
Okay.
Pepper jack cheese, jalapenos. It's got the works.
That sounds good.
Pickled red onions.
Right.
And that is like more of like a signature burger,
right.
like a signature burger. Because our burger is just our Picazo burger.
But hold on, though.
Yeah.
Because I actually have this argument that because it's called the Picazo burger. Right?
Correct.
And if your name is on the burger,
better be good.
it's got to be good.
Yeah.
And it can't be too complicated.
Correct.
Because burgers are like, burgers, tacos, pizza. These are parts of our shared cuisine experience that people try to make all fancy and stuff. But if you can't make the basic one good,
Correct.
like if you can't get a good slice of pepperoni pizza, you probably shouldn't go to that pizza place, right? If they can't make the basic.
Yeah, I agree.
And you guys have a great burger, and you're famous for it. And people go there and they sit in that beautiful garden. And I've never had an off one. I'm serious. And
Thank you.
It's great. And then what I also like, though, is like you mentioned, let's get into this. You have another business. And people who are watching it says Mezcal on your shirt. And I'm assuming that's your business.
Yeah. Well, the category.
One of the products.
Yeah.
So in addition to the restaurant, you, because you're an entrepreneurial kind of guy, go Seawolves. You were at Sonoma State thinking of business ideas. What is this business that deals with Mezcal?
So similar to kind of the story of the restaurant, funny enough, I started a brand originally, what we'd call like 2015-ish.
Okay.
The brand La Luna Mezcal.
Okay.
And at first, like most alcohol in the U.S. that's coming from Mexico, it was a sourced product, meaning it was my brand that I founded, but the juice inside was made by a mezcalero in Michoacán.
You would go out down
I would go to
Michoacán.
Michoacán because we're from Michoacán. My family's from Cotija de la Paz, Michoacán, famous for cotija cheese.
Really?
Yeah.
You're from a place named after a cheese?
Correct.
Which
I think
maybe the cheese is named after the place.
yeah, a crash course into the world of cuisine or somehow flavors was destined for me because my family's background was never making mezcal or burgers, but it was in making that cheese.
Which Michoacán seems to have a lot of dairies because all the paletas, the ice cream shops,
famous.
La Michoacana is a common name, and I've always seen it's sort of like saying Wisconsin or like one of the dairy lands of America. It seems that Michoacán is like this agricultural powerhouse in Mexico.
Agreed.
And I could be wrong. Is that
No. Yeah, I mean, I go there, once a month, twice a month, once a week sometimes, and it's agriculturally rich. I always use that when I describe the state. Agriculturally rich in so many ways, right? Because it's known for berries. Like a lot of the Driscoll berries come from Los Reyes, Michoacán, which is about 40 minutes from Cotija, where we're from. A lot of different aspects of that state provide a lot of different things, including...
Is it incredibly diverse or something? Because like berries, like when I think of mezcal, which is from an agave plant, that seems dry and hot. And then dairies, you don't always think that way. But so it must be a big area, or is it a diverse area?
Yeah, diverse in climate,
like
but very, very, very mineral rich soils, and a lot of mountain, but it's coastal. Okay, so we benefit also from that coastal air and that temperature. But yeah, it's definitely diverse in its setting. But like from strawberries to berries to corn to almost everything, there's Michoacán as a present. Avocados, like capital of the world.
Right.
Avocado capital of the world. Really busy state for avocados.
Hold on. And if the Michoacana Growers Association wants to sponsor this podcast,
let's do it.
So you were first getting juice from a guy or a farmer or a guy, they grew the agave, then they turned it into mezcal, and then you would bottle it and do your thing.
Yeah, that's right. And then around 2019, similar to what I was talking about the kitchen and getting involved and through inquiry, I was like in this position where I was like, I wasn't very happy with the quality of the juice back then. Okay. And from a competitive standpoint, I was like, I was like, I know we can do this. So my business partner and I, Adrian Gallegos, who I originally met in an Uber.
Oh. He's not from here?
No. He's from there. He's from there. And I met him in an Uber in Guadalajara. He was an Uber driver.
Okay.
I rode shotgun. We became best of friends, consider ourselves brothers today.
Okay.
And at one point, I asked him to come work with me. And so basically a year leading up to this moment I'm about to describe, he was working on site for me, and he was doing an array of different things. Like he was helping make sure that the boxes were sealed a certain way. I was trying to get the product to the U.S. faster, essentially.
Because you have to go through a lot of hoops, I'm sure.
There's a lot of regulation and compliance for that, and so, and more importantly, the gentleman I was working with back then, the person making the liquid, who was helping me try to put everything together. Every time he told me a week could be a month, or a month be 3 months, and
you weren't there. You weren't there.
I wasn't there as often back then. I wasn't going as often, and so then I wasn't a dual citizen yet, nothing like that, and so. eventually, when I was getting frustrated with all these things, Adrian's working with me, and I wanted to go. I had a vision for the brand that the gentleman did not care to do, but because I wanted an expanded line of offerings. Because in the world of mezcal compared to tequila, there's a lot of different varietals, similar to grapes. Like a Cab, a Zin, Merlot. They're all red grapes, but they're all different varietals. In the world of mezcal, it's very similar. Whereas in tequila, it's just one agave. You can only use one agave to make tequila, famously known as Blue Weber.
Okay.
So that's what makes it one of the more obvious reasons that they're different in terms of categories. And so in my mind, what I wanted to do was take all the biodiversity of all the agaves in our state of Michoacán and represent them in unique bottlings, unique productions. And the guy was like, I don't do that. He's like, so I said, all right, well then I'm gonna do it. And then Adrian's like, bro, you're crazy. What do you mean? I'm like, well, let's go rent a place. Let's figure out how to do this. And so that's what we did. We rented a little facility, figured out how to do it. Since then, we've won 7 double gold medals as producers.
Really?
Yeah.
So, and again, for people who don't know, tequila and mezcal are similar. They're cousins.
I could get into the very big details, but essentially mezcal happens first in Mexico's history. Tequila comes later, but tequila gets popularized and grows to be a multi-billion-dollar industry.
That is
faster.
Similar to the wine regions here. Napa got famous.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
There you
because,
go.
a guy named Robert Mondavi was out there promoting it and saying this big Cabernet is famous.
I'm learning something right now.
Meanwhile, the Sonoma farmers are like, wait, what's going on?
What's up? Yeah.
We've been here.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been growing grapes in California for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Planted with the missions. So it sounds very similar because obviously for Americans, if you ask 99% of Americans for what is a liquor from Mexico,
tequila.
It's all tequila.
No, we're known for tequila.
And they're going to be like, it's going to be that weird dyed Jose Cuervo stuff.
Correct.
Not going to get sponsored by them, it sounds like. No. But because that's just
we don't want to be, but yeah.
It's the mass market.
Yeah.
And you mix it with stuff, so it's...
Well, yeah, the tequila game is really curious. It's got so many components to it that makes it in my world less appealing, but that's because I'm looking at it from like the perspective of a producer.
Yeah, you're like basically farmer/grower.
Yeah. But we make tequila too.
Maker.
Yeah, we make tequila too. So it's like, but the thing about it is the tequila regulation, and mind you, the mezcal one might mirror it similarly but tequila, like the gold stuff you mentioned, like there's a category in tequila called mixto, or it's basically a non 100% agave, where you 51% has to be made with agave. The other 49 could be grain spirits, sugarcane spirits.
Oh, really?
And so the reason I'm mentioning this is because a lot of times when people attribute a bad hangover to tequila, it's because they drank something like that versus like a high quality tequila.
And that's funny. Like just like with wine, you could have a fortified wine.
Correct.
They're adding alcohol to it, and that could be. It doesn't have to be grape alcohol.
Yeah, and fortified sounds like a really nice way of saying modified, right? Yeah.
Cut with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so for me, the modifications that are allowed in tequila, not even allowed because mezcal has similar loopholes, exploited and used in tequila, I think allows for it to be known, unfortunately, sometimes for a poor product, not as good of a product.
Well, it becomes like a mass market, affordable thing.
Well, yeah, and in my mind, to be honest, there was a time, especially in California, because California, I would say, it gets the bulk of almost all brands wanting to compete here because it's such a good consumer market. And we'll get a lot of the high quality stuff also. No, I should say also mostly.
Okay.
And so, myself included, when I was looking at Jose Cuervo is a good example, and I don't want to down talk, but still, they have the Jose Cuervo Gold, which everyone knows.
The classic, you see the behind the bar at Applebee's, it's right there.
Exactly, and that's one of the cheapest things in the market. Yep. And I was before I started traveling the country to promote our stuff and work the markets, I was like, who the heck drinks this stuff?
Right.
But then I went to Kansas one day. And they scheduled me really early to go pitch one of the biggest retailers in Kansas. And so I got there, and I quickly realized that the Midwest is probably on its own still keeping the Jose Cuervo shares healthy because they're a publicly traded company.
Right.
And so, but I was like looking at the stack. They had a pyramid stack, and I'm like bigger than this room of like that gold of the handles, store. Like the 1.75 liter.
Yeah.
And I looked at, I was like, that's a lot. Because they had basically the guy, which is hilarious. I feel like this is probably his trick. In order for me to talk to him, he basically said, hey, can you help me move stuff around? And then like at 9 o'clock, because it was like 9 a.m., you can show me your stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And of course I'm going to say yes, right? I want to sell my stuff.
Right.
I'm starting moving these boxes. I'm stacking this Cuervo stuff. And I'm like, holy crap, these are big stacks. He goes, oh, this will be gone by the weekend. I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah, it'll be gone. He goes, I'm like, what? And so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, now I know who drinks this stuff.
Yeah.
Not that they're the only ones, but
no, but it's a mass market, and especially if you're in a college town or a place where they watch a lot of football, or parties.
Or they're just drinking margs, you know.
You gotta do the margaritas.
Yeah, you gotta
that's
do,
a thing.
because you know the other side of the equation, and this is similar too, because in wine there's Stella Rose, and there's these the brands that are much more sweetened up and different. Yeah. But then you have obviously people who are wanting to drink something serious, sip it, swirl it, etc. And the world tequila that exists too, and mezcal.
Right. So let's get into that, because mezcal, again, agave plant. I've seen it. Sometimes they call it like a pineapple-looking thing, like the
They call it the center of it. They call it piña. The center of it, after the shaving of
once
the
you chop
pencas.
off the big leaves.
Yeah,
What do you call the leaves?
Pencas.
The
penca.
and they use this crazy like
The coa.
chopper thing, man. Don't get your finger near that.
So you can use a machete or a coa, and the coa is basically like a circular knife that then like slices down these leaves quickly. It's like
Which is probably better than a machete. It's like a garden hoe with a
exactly. If it's flat, it's like it's flat. The blade is parallel with the stick, right? Yeah, and so then it chops down, and clean shave,
and then they do. I've done the tours when I've been to Mexico, and it's always fun. I working in. Close to the wine business, I've done tons of wine tours, and of course I've done a couple distillery tours and stuff, but in breweries. So it was kind of fun to see their whole process. It's all very similar when you take a carbohydrate and convert it into an alcohol. With some sugars and some
that's what it is. The biggest thing with agave, and you probably saw this in your tour, the biggest difference is, like, for example, in the world of grape, you crush the grape and the juice is automatically fermentable, ready to be fermented. In the world of agave, you have to cook the agave to break down the long chain carbohydrate.
To get the sugar out.
So basically the sugar is a long chain carbohydrate versus short chain. You need it to be short chain to be able to be fermentable. And so you take the long chain, and by cooking it, you break down those chains into smaller chains to then that's the science behind it.
So if I ate
hydrolysis,
if I got one of those choppers and I chopped open an agave and I tasted some of the fibers, would they be sweet or would they not be sweet?
It has some sweetness to it, but it's not fun to chew that stuff uncooked.
It's why
it's not fun, and it's not going to be. It's definitely not going to be enjoyable. I don't think.
Got it.
The flip side is if you took agave and once it's cooked and you gnaw on it, just chew a little bit, it's really tasty.
Oh, it is sweet.
Yeah, very sweet, very sweet, and very pleasant.
It's probably like just like corn. When you eat like corn that you make bourbon out of, it's not sweet. It's not sweet corn. It's corn. But after they cook it,
that's right. They heat it up. The term is different there, but yes, it's what do they call it?
I don't know.
I'll think of it through the conversation.
Make it up. I'll believe it.
They steep it essentially, not boil it, but they put it in water and then it.
Like a mash or something like that.
They make their mash with the corn, and so you can use other grains as well, of course. Right. So there's because you have different like rye, rye whiskeys are a thing,
right?
And you have different things that
so by the boiling and the heat release.
Yeah, it's no different than making beer, I guess. The mash bill, because the mash bills in beer, I think, are more similar to whiskey than like any. So.
We're both like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah,
we're on a podcast. We must.
I know how to make agave spirits. We make also rum.
You do?
Yeah, but from sugar cane. Yeah, so Michoacán also has a lot of sugar cane.
Okay. What's the name of the brand, by the way?
So the mezcal brand that started my path to all this is called La Luna.
This is La Luna.
The La Luna Mezcal.
Okay.
La Luna Mezcal is our brand, and I'm very proud to say we're probably one of the only produced, like, literally seed to bottle. Like, we produce it ourselves. We don't source it.
That's great.
And quite frankly, we could produce for other people. So
how long does it take? 'Cause, like, you plant a seed or a small planting. How long does it take for that to be harvested?
So agave maturities vary by varietal. The youngest is probably going to be 5 years on average. That's going to be the Blue Weber, which is more famous for tequila, but you can make it for mezcal. There's Espadincillo that we use that sometimes takes 5 years also. Espadin is also another one that takes like 5 years. But there's some agaves, like the one we use called Bruto, which scientifically is called Inaquidens, that could take up to 30 years.
So this is funny because it's similar to the wine business in that if you plant a vineyard, you're not getting a bottle of wine for until 7 years. Right?
Okay.
You got to wait for the grapes to grow, and then the first year you don't really get grapes. And the second year you're getting nothing, and then like third year you kind of get a crop. So then you harvest it, but now it's got to sit for 18 months to 2 years to become a bottle. So it sounds very similar. You have a very long term from investment to payout.
Agreed.
And then after 5 years you harvest it, you do your thing, you chop it up, you do all the magic.
Yeah.
It goes into a bottle. Does it have to age for a while?
So the categories in tequila and mezcal are similar. So you have the blanco or joven category, which is just white. Right. In the world of mezcal specifically, joven is clear spirit, unaged.
And that means young in English. Right?
Yeah. But the reason I want to differentiate is because in the world of tequila, there's blanco or silver, right? And then there is also a category called joven, which does have some aging to it, or has some You can blend there. You could use reposado. So there's that category is very specific, and then reposado, and then añejo, and then extra añejo.
Okay.
So those are the categories, and they have similar categories in the mezcal world as well, except for joven is our unaged.
And does the government kind of say so many years makes it añejo versus?
Yeah. There's the norma, which is the norms that they're ran by the government.
Okay.
Technically speaking, not technically, I think legally, the word mezcal and the word tequila are owned by the Mexican government now.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so you have to follow their rules
Yeah.
that get adopted or whatever.
Just like you can't make champagne.
Yeah,
the French will regulate you.
It's not unique to Mexico to do it that way, but I think it does. It's interesting, and this is a controversial piece for mezcal more specifically, again, because there's a lot of people who have been generational mezcaleros or, have had a lot of different time doing it, different to us, first generation doing it.
Right.
Who, unfortunately, because they're not following the rules, cannot label their product mezcal.
So what do they call it?
They call it agave spirits or destilado de agave. And the challenge there, I think, emotionally and also maybe in the market, is that the consumer world does not know what that is that easily.
Right.
And so they might go into the shelf and they could see tequila, mezcal, and then agave spirit and be like, what is that?
Right.
I'd rather buy what I know, which is mezcal or tequila.
Interesting.
And so it kind of limits their abilities. Now, to be fair to them, typically they're producers who probably don't care to grow the scale the way that maybe others have.
These are like small scale.
Yeah, and they make some amazing juice at times. They're known for that, and they're making small runs a year. But that's what they did traditionally. Whereas it wasn't really like a commercial effort.
It was more like local sales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone knew him. They're usually famous.
Is tequila mezcal from just that portion of Mexico, or is it more grown throughout?
No, so there's 9 states where you can make mezcal legally
With that name.
Got it. And then 5 where you can make tequila. So tequila is known for Jalisco, right? Jalisco, but Michoacán can make tequila.
Okay.
Nayarit can make tequila.
Okay.
Tamaulipas and Guanajuato.
Okay.
All those states can technically make
But
tequila.
I can't be in Baja and say
Correct.
make
You would someone in Baja would be making agave spirits.
Okay.
Even whether it's mezcal or tequila, whatever agave they're using, it would be those. Because right now there's a big push for California residents growing agave. I'm not sure if
I
you knew
know
that.
there's someone in the valley who's trying it.
Yeah.
I've heard. So.
Okay, so they're gonna make agave spirits. They could say, and I've heard this before, that we're making tequila here. They're not making tequila.
They could say I'm making an agave spirit in the style of a tequila from
Exactly.
Mexico.
Yeah, stylistically,
Can't call it that.
correct. Yeah, and I think that's the big thing right now where people are upset with the movement because the words or the practice was Mexico's. But that being said, agave spirits, because California, although it'd probably be the loudest just because of our marketing power and there's other countries. Hawaii makes an agave spirit already. There's a couple. I don't know, it's Australia or Austria. Australia, I think it is.
Yeah.
Has agave spirits. South Africa makes agave
Probably
spirits.
places with similar dry / subtropical climate.
Yeah, that have it. 80% of the agave in the world, I believe it's a statistic that 80% of the agave of the world is in Mexico.
Makes
but
sense.
that means 20% somewhere else, right? So
And the plant is initially from Mexico, right?
that's what I think. Historically speaking, that seems to be
Back in the time of the dinosaurs or before or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
And it's still primarily there. 80% is still a lot. And the 20% to be scattered across the whole world is almost nothing.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so right now there's a big effort where people are bringing hijuelos or the offshoots into California from Mexico, and they're planting them here.
Hopefully they're clearing them past.
They are.
Okay.
There's actually
California is very strict. On
I know.
bringing in
Yeah. Well, no. That's the whole thing about. That's why I know the movement's serious is because California legislation's behind it. So there's a method to get here, an importing method to get it here, legal one.
Okay.
And so then you clear it through all the different
Department
whatever.
of Agriculture,
Yeah.
et cetera.
Exactly. Yeah. Department of Agriculture is there. When I did a keynote speech in Davis one time at UC Davis for this conversation of agave spirits. The last speaker was, I believe, the assembly person or the whatever name they are for the agriculture body of California.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't mess around.
No.
Because
pretty serious.
agriculture is a massive part of our economy.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, wine is one portion of it. Mm-hmm. But you're probably too young. But in '82, we had a fruit fly infestation, the Mediterranean fruit fly, and they would have these helicopters that would fly over your soccer practice, spraying. And you'd be playing soccer, getting sprayed with malathion, and that's a fond memory.
That's hilarious.
Growing up in California.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that was mainly because it was attacking all the orchards.
Wow.
Right? And so they did not mess around.
Oh yeah, that's
that's
wild. Yeah, no, I think it's very serious. I know that there's a couple people that are leaders in terms of like acreages that they've committed to this crop. I know, I don't know who you know here in town, but I know,
Eric.
Eric
Pearson.
Oh yeah. Well, I took him. He was with me in Mexico with
he
it.
was?
I didn't take
Okay.
him. He went down himself, but he toured our facilities and our fields.
Will it grow up here?
Yeah, it'll grow. Yeah, I got asked. I walked his land.
Okay.
And then I went. I've also walked a couple different Sonoma properties that I had requested potentially. Entering. I don't think California will make the ultimate splash I think it wants to make. I don't think that's very much so because there's no comparison. Like you go to the Sonoma market right now, which is walking distance.
Right.
Your least expensive mezcal bottle is going to be probably like in the 40s, maybe upper 30s,
Right.
and the tequila is going to be lower 30s, upper 20s. No way there's a bottle made here that's 100% agave for that price. Well, I mean, you think about land costs here, think about labor costs here. Right. Not to knock them, but I'm assuming there's going to be some learning curve for people that are first time makers of this product, unless they bring a consultant in. But that has a fee too.
And we don't have a lot of the equipment to make wine. You and I could go out within 30 minutes right now and get anything we need to make wine.
Correct.
Like within almost walking distance.
Yeah, bucket and grapes. Yeah.
But I bet you if I could text someone, we could find a destemmer, we could find all of it.
Yeah.
But to make mezcal and tequila, it sounds like it needs some more specialty.
Well, specifically the cooking thing, right?
Yeah,
like
the
there's in Mexico there's diffusers, which are much more like chemical based method of cooking. Okay. There's autoclaves, which are big steamers, and then lastly there's traditional brick ovens, and this is more of like your modern day tequila.
Right.
If you talk mezcal, earth pit. There's actually an earth pit in Yolo County. I've done 3 roasts for different people.
You dig a big pit.
It's not my big. It was this gentleman's pit.
They dig a big pit. They throw the piñas in there.
Yeah. So you light wood fire, rock on top.
Right.
This is how we do it for La Luna. So that's why they asked me to go do it because apparently they had like 3 failed ovens.
This sounds like a Polynesian pig roast, like in Hawaii.
It kind of is similar because then you do cover it with dirt, and so ultimately what ends up happening is so live wood fire, live flame, put the rock in, heats up that rock to a certain. Right. I would know the temperature is more by the eye, but let's call it hours later.
Right.
Then you're gonna load the piñas. And then you're going to close up this oven, the dirt, right? And so then that's going to cut off oxygen, flame goes out, smoke persists, and the heat of the rock, that cooks agave, which is where the smoky quality of mezcal comes from. Where people, mezcal is smoky.
That makes a lot, okay.
Yeah, traditional underground roasted mezcal is smoky for that reason.
Okay, you just blew him. I had no idea. I thought it was in these big kettles or something like that.
Not mezcal. But like the that's why like tequila doesn't have that smoke flavor to it, because it's a neutral way of cooking is steam. There's no flavor to steam, right? It's just steam. So
Sal, you just blew my mind. All right, so real quick, it's called La Luna Mezcal.
La Luna Mezcal.
And La Luna, LALUNA.
Yeah, lalunamezcal.com/USA for our American website. There's a store, shop.lalunamezcal.com. Anyone wants, because we make a lot of expressions.
Can people buy the products here if they're
so it used to be one of the best selling Sonoma market. Unfortunately, they booted us, but Broadway. I please support Broadway. They have
his favorite sandwich shop, Broadway.
Yeah, there you go. They have our Spadincillo. They have our Tequilana expression and our Chino expression. They actually have a nice diverse set of offering.
Okay.
And I know that if someone buys them, Raul, one of the owners, I believe, he will buy them again.
Oh, good.
So it would be great if people wanted to do that.
And then they could probably go on the website to find out.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, the website for them, or you mean for us?
For you.
Yeah, for ours, the benefit of our website is going to be that there they have 3 expressions. Our website probably has 20. So there's a lot more variety.
When you say expressions, different types of
different blends or single varietal or whatever. That's just like wine. The biggest thing with us is our blends start at the oven level, meaning that, for example, if we make a 3 agave blend, of let's just say Tequilana, Chino, and Bruto, they would all start in the oven together. Then they would co-ferment together and then distill together. So it's
This is crazy.
Yeah.
And can people order it from the website?
Yeah. Shop.lalunamezcal.com. Yeah, it's a store out of San Diego. We don't own the product. The store buys the product, but the website's through us. Yeah, the legalities.
Shipping alcohol is very fun in the United States.
Exactly.
If
but it goes to California, of course, but it does go to I think 20-something odd states.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Yeah, I'll randomly get emails where I see people order, and sometimes I'm like, wow. They give good orders and just like expressions. We had an expression at one point that sells at the retail level for like $250.
Whoa!
And all of a sudden that would get pulled off the shelf. I'm like, wow, impressed. Because I trust me, that expression is worth every penny in my mind.
Right.
We made it with a lot of love and care, and there's a lot of particulars to it. But for someone to spend $250,000.
Do you think they had tasted it somewhere?
Maybe, or they read about it. It is probably one of the most impressive mezcals we've ever made. That one.
I bet you know who it was. It was that guy you helped him move all that Jose Cuervo.
I wish.
Like I owe that guy.
Yeah. I wish it was him.
And then you mentioned you're traveling a lot.
Yeah.
So you have to go to like stores and do like tastings and stuff.
Market visit with distributors. We work with distributors, so I'm either in market doing what they call general sales meetings, GSMs with them, or working alongside and work with on the streets with their salespeople.
Okay.
Rare the occasion where I just go unannounced by myself these days. I don't think that's usually more strategic than that.
You're not showing up at bars and like pouring shots for people.
Not as much, no. I did at one point. I even did it at Mary's one time here downtown, just try to get
Mary's
the product
Pizza.
there. Yeah, but back before the sell off and all that good stuff. Yeah. I was in there. Now, funny enough, so if anyone's listening to this has a bar in Sonoma,
right.
I tell them selfishly that. I first should admit I've done a very poor job of servicing here, but a lot of the time when I'm here, I have 3 boys, wife, and so in my mind I'm like I'd like to spend time with them.
Family stuff.
Yeah, but that being said, I feel like La Luna deserves to be on all the shelves that Sonoma has, right? Because it is Sonoma's brand. Like it's the one brand I would say that ties to really the full bore immigration story from my parents coming here, me first generation, going back to doing this project, and now we store it on 8th Street. So it's like there's no more local mezcal than that. That's as local as you can get.
As local as you can get.
Local
right
as you
there.
get, yeah.
And it's funny, 8th Street East is where tons of production is.
100%.
I had Paul Justo in here a couple weeks ago, and he's at Highway 12 Winery.
Yeah,
he's out there on 8th Street, and you walk down or drive down or ride your bike down that street. It's just like so many wineries.
Oh, yeah.
It's all down.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Impressive.
Getting back to Picazo real quick. You guys have, like we mentioned, the burgers. I'm going to eat the Senor Crispy later. I was going to do it while we're talking, but we've been having such a good time. I'm not going to do it.
I think you should take at least a bite. I want to know your opinion. Yeah, just one bite.
I did text
I'll tell you about that burger.
Do it. Go.
Okay, cool.
Go.
So basically, fried chicken pursuit. I've traveled, like I said, the country to different cities. A lot of the ones that are known for cuisine.
Right.
And I was like, okay, a lot of people are doing cool riffs on fried chicken burgers.
Fried chicken got hot, man.
Hot.
Yeah.
And so at the time, this was during the Kina's Kitchen and Bar days.
Okay.
We had some sauces, and I thought about it. I'm like, oh, yeah, we should do it this way. And so basically, there's a dip that chicken goes into after it's fried.
Okay.
That we run off the jalapenos and all that, and it becomes like a sweet, spicy a sauce for that to dip in.
Right.
Then with those extracted jalapenos, we blend that with bacon and a few other ingredients to make this like bacon jalapeno aioli. Okay. And then the coleslaw has our well-known kind of sweet spicy vinaigrette on it. And obviously pickles, so kind of,
You want me to try it?
Yeah, try it.
I mean, it looks good. I'm going to hold up.
Well, now it's been a while, so
I know,
whatever, but it's still.
I know. I should have right away, but I'm going to save it till you're here.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, keep talking, though.
Yeah. And so that was kind of, that, there's a lot of different things.
Oh, man.
You taste it, right?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all over my face.
Yeah, not just on the side here.
God.
So for me, a lot of the stuff that's on the menu now have been literally trips I've taken to Chicago, Austin, Texas, or LA. Tried certain things and reinterpreted them in our kitchen with things that we do. So like our chicken fried chicken with green salsa gravy. Yeah. That was a Dove's kitchenette and luncheonette in Chicago. And so yeah, there's a lot of different things on there.
It's got the sweet and spicy in there. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And it's got the nice soft bun.
Yeah.
And the crispy. You got to put
even better when it's recently fried, right? Yeah, but still. Well, it's been an hour since you picked it up. At least that.
It has. But and before the podcast, Bob was in here because I bought him one too. Yeah. And he just devoured it. Okay. And he loved it. Yeah. And he normally gets the burger. And I said.
You're going to go get a burger. You told me, and I said, you should get that.
Yeah. So I said the guy that owns the restaurant told me to order this. So
yeah. Well, that's the thing about it. Like I was mentioning, there's a lot of things on our menu that just go kind of unassumed. People don't know. Right. I've had the other day. I was very pleased. I go there a lot of times more so because of the day is very diverse for me in terms of what I do. Yeah. And so I try to go there really early to do a lot of the prep that requires a lot of my attention. That's maybe a new item like our hollandaise sauce that we make, usually something I have to do because the citrus that I use for it's like a recipe for the citrus.
You make your own hollandaise sauce.
Yeah. Okay. And that citrus has a recipe to it that then goes into the hollandaise recipe. Gotcha. So like it's very particular. And so but my uncle who leads the kitchen, he'll lean on me for some of the new recipes. Like, hey, I still don't quite know how to make that. So can you come back in and it's cool. And then until they get it down, then I'll stop. Then and they'll take over the prep for it.
Good.
Thank you.
You said you had 3 boys. You got them in there working, or are they too young?
No, they've gone with me to help out at times. I've tried to make that place a place where I tell them, hey, listen, when I come here, especially at Picazo's, my role is just as diverse as my day, right? In some ways, I go in there, I have an apron on potentially, I'm in the back prepping,
right?
Am I requiring me to jump on the line? Like this morning, I was there for my dad's birthday, so
wait, happy birthday, Don Chava.
Don Chava, 62 years young, iconic face of the place in the morning.
Okay.
And so we went to go say happy birthday, and happened to be a big rush of breakfast, people eating chilaquiles and a lot of different things, right? So I said Power Bowl and all that, and I said I jumped in the line, cranked out that order, got back to singing happy birthday for dad. My kids were there, my older boys, made them some breakfast.
Got it.
But then when I go, I'm like, hey, listen, I'm gonna walk out of here, out of the kitchen with food that we just prepared,
right?
And then I want to walk back with dishes that I clear, right? Because at the end of the day, that's the attention to detail I feel like that's important, and I like them to see that that works for everybody. That's a family restaurant. My mom was there in the morning. My sister was there. My sister Betsy.
Oh, Betsy, yeah.
Betsy. She was there singing happy birthday to my dad as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're all there. I'm like, hey, this is a family spot.
Yeah.
Pick stuff up. A customer needs something, show them where it is.
And do you tell the boys, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean?
100%. Yeah. That is ethos. I do aspire to have them there more often. Their schedule's so busy with soccer on the weekends that we don't find time.
They're not like
the oldest is 11.
Okay.
The middle is 9, and the youngest is 2.
Oh, you're in it, dude.
Yeah.
You are so in it.
Think of it. And they play high level soccer.
They're doing club soccer.
Yeah. So my older son Sal, he got moved a year up to play MLS Next already. Yeah. So like the games have been crazy. Modesto.
Isn't that like it's
Redwood City this weekend?
Yes, and you always go to like not Sacramento, but like suburban Sacramento.
Yeah.
Or like Pleasanton.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, here we are. And you're not really near a lot of great restaurants when you're out there at the soccer fields. You're kind of like out there.
I literally do my job. I do a lot of research in all the platforms because I don't like taking just Yelp's word for it or whatever. I look and I'm like, hey, we should try this spot.
Yeah.
And we'll go do it. I usually, yeah, for sure. I try to get to there's certain go-to spots along the way on the 680 corridor that we're just kind of like, we love.
Right.
But I love seafood.
Okay.
So like mariscos specifically, I like to find a lot of mariscos, especially when I go to like San Jose area. There's a lot of them. Yep. Redwood City. So like I try to find one that like has good reviews. Yeah. Even if they have bad start, but I start reading some of the details. Like, oh, they have this kind of dish. I'm like, oh, I don't usually get that unless I'm in Mexico.
Okay.
Try to go get that.
Try that out.
Sure. Yeah.
So quick before we move on, what are your thoughts on restaurant reviews?
I first of all, I embrace them. I think that we've been victim to a lot of them where. For example, at Picazo, they said that they walked in at 5 p.m. and that they had shitty service. Bad service.
It's a podcast. You can say.
I know that it's a lie because we close at 3. You know what I mean? So like,
you're like, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
We weren't even open.
That being said, I try to if it's criticism that I feel like is attached to things that we serve or reality or whatever. I have for sure taken for real, and I try to find a way to we usually reach out and apologize. Okay. Secondly, tell the staff, hey, listen, this was said or this was done. If you are the eyes of the kitchen, blah blah blah. So try to find a way to make sure that we're paying attention to some of the criticism, right, and implementing it. This is a world where you're not going to please everyone, unfortunately. Right. So it is what it is in some formats. But you try. So I guess to answer your question, I take them seriously. Good. But I also take them with a grain of salt.
Again, because like there's also like Facebook pages for like different things, and one of my favorites. There's a great one here called Sonoma County Foodies. It's really well run, and most people there are really they're interesting people. They want to talk about stuff, but some people just go in there just to complain about crap. And I always love it when someone says, "Well, did you talk to the server or the manager?"
You tell them,
right? Because if your soup was cold, let's say. First, you tell them because most people, 99% of the restaurant people, are like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go fix it.
Yeah,
and like, no, I just came home and went on Facebook.
Yeah.
You didn't solve a problem.
Yeah, from my perspective, I stopped doing reviews, and you guys would find because you obviously go to Yelp, you can see the user review. Right? I stopped only from like the perspective of like, and this sounds a little bit too fluffy maybe, but it's like I only wanted to be positive, and the reason I wanted to though is because I understand all the work on the back end of someone trying to make it in that space. So in my mind, I'm like, you know what? To your point, if I can give them a positive criticism off the books, if you will, to say, hey, listen. this happened or whatever. I'd prefer that. That's what I try to do, and then I'll write a nice review for someone that I think like deserved it or whatever. So I'm very selective in that regard. But I feel like everywhere does at least one good thing. You know, like there's always something that they do really, really well.
Right.
And then few the places, and kudos to them for what I'm about to say, but like few the places that do everything great, and good for them. You know, because I know that takes a lot of effort. It's immensely hard. You know, it's immensely hard. You know, in our place, like we're known for our coffee and our espresso and all that, but like what I tell you, that's been like a huge focal point for us. Not so much, but it's like we can't really do it poorly because we do have a lot of people that want to come back for it. That
you have good coffee.
Thank you.
It's so weird. Again, you walk in the side front door. Door, and you got this very diverse menu and stuff like that. And then I'm like, these are actually really good coffees.
Yeah.
And again, this milkshake with coffee in it.
There you go. Coffee.
Are you like a coffee guy?
I love coffee. Well, I do this.
Yeah. You got the Americano.
Yeah, Americano. Yeah. So.
But how much coffee do you drink? Like more than 1 cup a day, I take.
Well, this has 4 shots in it. And this is my second one of these.
You already had
I had them this morning. I went with Dad. This morning. Yeah. No, but it doesn't make me. I have a really weird relationship with caffeine. I don't think it does to me what it might do to others because it never makes me jittery.
Do you get allergies? I have a serious question.
No.
Like hay fever? Okay.
No.
Because I get like bad allergies, but I find coffee helps.
Really?
So I'll drink it all the time, and it really helps. Like, isn't that weird? And that totally psychological.
No.
Also, because I love.
If I were you, I'd keep drinking coffee so I don't get allergies.
Yeah, the allergist. Like, what are you doing? Like,
it helps me. Yeah, it helps me.
All right. Before we move on to the next thing, Sal, if people want more information about the Picazo Café, what is your website?
PicazzoCafe.com.
That's simple. I like that. Really
PicazzoCafe.com. Yeah. We just launched. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher. I think it's sonoma.epicazo.com, and that's for online ordering. And that's not a big deal. It's 2025. Most people have it. We didn't. We just launched like 2 months ago, and I'm excited for that. The reason anyone who's been a customer of ours might be able to attest to this. Call us, and we put you on hold. Sometimes it takes too long.
Yeah.
Secondly, you go there. There's usually one line, and so you ordered already on the phone, and you wait 30 minutes to check out.
No,
not
I'm supposed
fun.
to do a peace sign. No, what am I supposed to do?
Peace sign. Yeah, but even then, there's other things. Just tell people. Just yell. Hey, I already ordered. Right. Because I think for me now with the online ordering, it's like the simplicity of that's like, hey, you already paid. It's done. Right. Come pick it up and let's go. You know, because especially lunch rush during the week, people got to go back to work. Right. So I'm like, let's get people in and out.
Get in there. Order ahead of time.
Yeah. And the kitchen knows. Hey, let's go as fast as we can within reason. Right. Because we gotta respect people's time. We're not a luxurious place that's gonna be your third glass of wine. That's just not who we are. You're going in, your price point usually less than 20 per head. Right. And in and out.
And it's good. We try for that. Senor Crispy is where it's at, man.
That's a new one.
That's really good. Okay, so that's Picazo Café.
Flan French toast for brunch. That one's good.
Really?
Flan French toast. That's really good. That's
Flan
new.
French toast. That's indulgent.
With brioche. Brioche has like.
Well, the bread's good on this. So you must have a good hookup for the bread.
Yeah, the bread's guy is it's Franco-American.
Okay.
Yeah, but we just we've worked with the guy forever, and we try to the brioche is from the most so thick slices, just dredged overnight. And then the flan French toast with that. So basically the dredge that we put it in is like a flan.
Sounds so good.
Yeah.
Is that weekends or is it?
No, every day of the week. We so now our big thing is this, because at one point we were very selective and realized I'm not selective. I'm like, no, whatever the customer wants, right? And at one point we can't handle it. Long story short, we went from at one point having a brunch cutoff time to now brunch all day. So morning till 3 p.m. You want to go?
Your chef must love you.
I know, right? They hate me, but I tell them because I'll go in there and crank it out with them, and I'm like, hey, like this, you know.
But you don't brunch at like 2 o'clock.
It's the best.
Might have gotten up a little bit later.
That's what I'm saying. So for me, it's like you take your crew, right? Take the chamber staff.
Right.
You might feel like brunch at 2 p.m. Someone else wants a burger. Someone else wants a nice salad.
You know what? Jose in my office loves the Senor Crispy.
There you go.
He loves the sandwich.
Okay, so then there you go. So then Pozole Verde is on now because it's cold now.
Well done.
That was Pozole Verde, the Kina's recipe from Kina's Kitchen and Bar, right?
It was, okay.
Yeah, because we took that over. So we brought over a few things that Kina's did really well.
Good.
That people say they miss. So that our brunch menu.
Are you guys doing menudo over there?
No, that we haven't. I would love to.
When you've got the menudo,
so doing menudo would be kind of complicated for us, but I would love menudo. That's one of my favorite foods in the world.
It's good. It's
menudo.
Brings you back.
Levanta muertos. Depends how you do it. Yeah.
All right, here's what we're going to do. So we also, PicazzoCafe.com and also La Luna
Mezcal.com.
Mezcal.com.
Yeah.
Look for it. Fine places everywhere.
Me, if you want to email me, contact me on Savior P. Chavez on Instagram. Probably the best.
Okay.
Savior is a translation for Salvador.
Okay.
So wasn't trying to be cute. It's just Savior. Savior P. Chavez. If not, s@saviorspirits.net.
You can order all the La Luna Mezcal that you need.
Drink,
and especially if you have a big retail establishment.
Yes. Yeah,
you need to order 50 cases.
If you're listening to this and you're in California, we work with Southern Glacier Wine and Spirits. There's almost no excuse. They deliver to you guys every day.
All right, here we go.
All right.
So here you probably know we have 2 visitor centers. People call us, they text us, they slide into our DMs, they send us letters, they ask us questions. You're going to help us in the segment we call We Get Questions. This one you actually know. This one's easy. Someone walked in and said, "Is there a barber shop around here?"
There's a lot of them.
There is a lot.
We have a lot of barbershops in this small town.
We do have a lot of barbershops. What's up with that?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you because I bounce around. I had this really weird obsession with getting my hair cut every city I traveled.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
So
I love getting my hair cut in new cities.
Yeah, it was like a big thing. I wanted to see who cut the best hair.
Yeah.
So I'd look up reviews also and do that whole thing. So I guess I would ask you, flip it back to you, who are we promoting locally for barbershop?
I mean, I'll promote anybody. There's a couple in the Springs. I know for sure. The funny thing is I can't remember all their names. Looking at them as I drive up. Okay, so I know for a fact there's a barber on Broadway.
That's Allen's.
Allen's, yeah.
Allen's. It's been forever.
That's old school.
Ever.
And I think it's like $12 or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's just like he's just this one guy sitting there and doing a good job. And actually, the tattoo parlor is not far away. So now you can get a tattoo and a haircut.
Yep.
Right? As you go up through the Springs, there's one on the right hand side, just past El Molino Central. I cannot remember the name of it.
On the right or the left?
Well, that's the problem. And across the street, there's another one on the left that you go down, and
that's Gentleman's.
Gentleman's the garage.
True Gents
Barbershop is there. And I know there's more.
Yeah, there are.
The problem is I don't know their names.
Recently.
I just know
there's Empire.
One of them moved.
That one, Empire, moved.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
is there one down by the skate shop by El Coyote or not? Maybe I'm not. They're probably not.
El Coyote.
You know where the
No, I don't know.
The taco truck there across from the high school.
Well, there's a lot of beauty shops too, so some of them still do men's haircuts. I don't know if that's it's weird because barbers became a thing, but for a while it was just like
you know what it was? Fades.
There you go. Yeah.
When fades became a thing, so probably like 10 years ago.
Yeah, fades became important.
Fades became really big. And when I was younger, so I'm 50 now, but it was long hair. And it was scissor cuts.
Yep.
Right? And then it was just like kind of the grunge kind of look, whatever.
Yeah.
And then my son, they all started getting the fades, right? And I bet with the boys, you had that.
Mine, not my mom cuts her hair.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's easy for us.
I didn't mention that. Mrs. Chavez.
No, but she's not taking new customers.
Does she just like stick a bowl on their head?
No. Kina had experience with it, and so she does it well for them. Yeah. So
for real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Not she chose not to pursue that career, but she knows how to do that.
So she knew how to do it. It wasn't like what I did.
No. She knew.
Where like I got on YouTube and it was
no. She knew. Yeah.
So the quick answer is yes. There's barbershops. There's lots of them. And people here do cut their hair. But yeah, it depends if you still want fades, which I don't know if fades are still a thing or not.
I think they are.
But here's my question to you. You know how like
burst fades, all these fades.
As men get older, they hold on to that one haircut the rest of their life. Is that what's going to be? Like we're going to have a bunch of dudes in like their 70s and 80s getting fades? Like
I don't know
like
what you
30, 40 years from now?
I thought about this recently because I get a fade and Kina will make fun of me. She goes, "Hey, that like because I get like to the skin."
Yeah.
She goes, "That looks like just crazy, right? And like too much." And I thought about I'm like, what would I transition to if I stopped doing that? That's a question you're having.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know what people will transition to after a burst fade and all the fades that go on right now and the styles of hair.
You know,
because like the mullet's kind of back with a nice fade.
Okay, so
my kid has my 2-year-old has it.
Has the mullet.
Has like a little mullet. It's amazing. I think it's cute as heck.
Of course, it does now.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So my whole thing is, well, what about when he's I don't know,
right.
18.
But mullets came back. Then they were like the ironic mullet, and then they became like mullet.
Yeah. It's like a clean mullet.
It was like the mustache was like this ironic hipster thing, and now guys are walking around with mustaches.
Yeah, I always because my era was like Joe Dirt movie. It's like Joe Dirt mullet.
Exactly.
That was what I. But now it's like that's not a thing. It's like a legit mullet.
It's gonna come full circle.
Yeah, Peso Pluma mullet. Yeah, something different.
It's good. Okay, good. Here's one for you.
Okay.
A couple was visiting from Milpitas over there in the Southeast Bay, and they say we like finding cool coffee shops. Do you have any suggestions?
I mean, a whole bunch. Obviously, I selfishly would tell you to come visit us for some cool things.
I've heard Picazo Café has great coffee.
Yeah, we had good coffee. I recently tried OHM.
Yeah,
off the plaza.
OHM.
Yeah,
which is funny because it's Ohm, like a guitar.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's all about like the amplifier.
He's an amplifier guy.
Okay,
he's
got
big
it.
into music.
Yeah, so I drove by there, got Americano in the morning after that day I needed one. I felt like, and I couldn't make it across town. And then I'm trying to think of where else is obviously, my friend, high school classmate, Cafe Scuderia.
Really?
Yeah, Carissa and I went to school with Miguel and Kina. We were all classmates of the same class. Yeah.
Did you guys go to Sonoma Valley?
We went to Sonoma Valley High.
Hold on. Go Dragons.
Go Dragons. Okay. Yeah, so I'm really proud to see their success, especially being, a classmate of ours.
And that's a drive up, walk up, bike up.
Yeah, and I see people in the little garage sometimes eating.
Garage.
Yeah, and I see Coyote parked there at night now, so they're making better use of the space.
It's the same Coyote that they moved the truck?
I think it's the same people. They just moved the truck. Yeah. Okay. So kudos to them. I would say support.
That's a good one.
Fellow classmate, and then where else would I
have a secret one for you.
Go ahead.
The Cheese Factory.
Oh yeah, I've been there now recently too.
Sonoma's Best Coffee. Mm-hmm. And the name of the company was Sonoma's Best.
Okay.
Which is out on 8th Street.
Yes.
So the new owners bought it.
Yes.
Sonoma's Best Coffee Shop
is
now inside the Cheese Factory.
I've had it. Good. And I will say, in general, I've been very pleased to have that place back because I love barbecue.
Oh, it's good barbecue.
So I get the brisket all the time and all that.
Our new visitor center is right there, the Toscano Hotel, so we can smell that.
There you go. That'd probably it'd be hard
to. It's good and bad.
Can be. I could see that. Yeah. So we go there a lot, Kina, and the boys really like their tri-tip chimichurri sandwich.
Yeah.
And so we'll go there like on the weekend when we want to hang out at the plaza. Once again, after 3, because if not, we're at Picazo's.
Right.
But we'll go there and we'll enjoy ourselves, and it's nice. Nice to have it back up and running.
Back there. And good coffee. They have a good coffee scene there. And then I would also say if you go up in the Springs, oh my God, Sonoma Eats Real Mexican Food. They still have the coffee.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know
where Barking Dog used
to
be. They moved in there. Ephraim and his wife Haley. They have good coffee in the morning there.
Yeah.
And that's a good spot to check
Great.
out.
That's awesome.
And then Pillow Fight Coffee.
Kenwood. I was just there on Sunday morning.
You were?
Yeah, because I had a meeting, and the gentleman I was meeting with is in Glen Ellen, and I just said I'll drive with the Pillow Fight.
It's great.
Great coffee, and I actually heard a customer singing. I want to say she was the owner. This owner's praises, just saying, "Hey, I forget what other place he referenced that does their own roasting." And he said, "You guys are doing a better job."
Oh wow!
So I just thought it was cool. That it seemed really busy, and for being Kenwood's like an interesting little area. Like they're very busy.
It is. But Kenwood is kind of like the extreme northern end of the valley. But that Pillow Fight Coffee has Ashley and Josh, the owners, they have made it sort of like the community gathering.
That's awesome,
especially in the morning. Or Palooza is like the evening place there. Pillow Fight has become. It's the place.
That's amazing.
In Kenwood. Yes, they do a good job. So, all right. Question just came in. Someone walked into the Toscano Hotel and our building. We're now in.
Yep.
And we're getting a lot of questions about the building. And they said, how many rooms were in the Toscano Hotel?
Oh. If I had a guess, do you know the answer?
I kind of do because. Well,
I'd say maybe 12 max.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. I'm learning a lot about missions right now because of my 9-year-old.
Oh, fourth grade.
We're learning a lot about San Rafael Arcangel.
Oh, good. That one's nearby.
Which is crazy.
You chose a nearby one.
No, he chose it. I'm learning. I'm asking him, hey, what's a neophyte? I'm trying to. Hey, you got to better get that one. Yeah, so it's crazy.
He knows it. Well, so Toscano Hotel is the oldest wooden structure in Sonoma.
Okay.
Before that, the buildings were adobe. Right.
Yeah.
So, when the Europeans were here, so the Spanish-Mexican period, adobe. Then they built this wood building called the Toscano Hotel, and it could have 12 rooms. It probably had 6 rooms. It could have had 25 rooms. It all depends at what period.
Okay.
Because that building is actually similar to Picazo Café. It's just been added on to and adjusted and segments, and they built on an annex. They built a kitchen in the back. So, yes, whatever number you pick is how many rooms have been in the Toscano Hotel.
So I'm not wrong.
You're totally right. Yeah, and I had like this 5-page dissertation on the history of it, and none of them says...
No specific thing.
No, they just say at different times, right? So...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was 1800s, wasn't it?
Right, between 1800s up until... I mean, in the 1900s, it was still operating as like a rooming house. Actually, Toscano's comes because the immigrants were staying there from Italy.
Yeah.
And they were working in the quarries behind town here.
Okay.
And yes, sometimes you would have 10 rooms, but then they're like, shoot, we need to make more rooms. So they throw up a wall or a curtain and new wall, so it all depends. Okay, so we got this via text. People can text us, 707-996-1090.
Okay.
You can actually text right now, and then that'll make Jose's phone blow up, which is fun to watch. But
he answers.
He will answer, although right now he's in jury duty.
Okay.
Hope it's going well, Jose. Here's what we got via text. Ready? Is this Vallejo?
General Vallejo's home.
Yeah, it's a good answer. Yeah.
General Vallejo's home.
It's his home.
Yeah.
General Vallejo did live here.
His house right over here,
right behind us here. Yeah. But the city of Sonoma, there's another city called Vallejo.
Yes, right.
which is a separate city.
That's right.
So I had to ask them, are you looking for General Vallejo?
Yeah.
Who is buried here?
Yeah.
And
a statue here.
And his statue's here, and his home is here. But he also has a city called Vallejo.
And what was their answer?
They didn't respond back. Because I said, this is Sonoma. You're talking to the Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau. Are you looking for the city of Vallejo?
Yeah.
Or the man named Vallejo?
Oh, I'm curious what they should have answered.
Didn't respond.
Yeah.
It could have been a fourth grader.
Maybe.
It could have been your
Maybe.
kid.
Yeah.
All right, final question. We need a hotel in Sonoma, but we are traveling with our cat.
Oh.
Is there a place we can stay? Right, meow.
I like that. Oh man, I wouldn't know where to tell anyone to go with the cat. I mean, Pueblo.
I think El Pueblo will probably take it. That's a great question. That's a great hotel, by the way.
Yeah,
Pueblo.
yeah, great.
Have you been in the middle of it where they have a garden? Isn't that beautiful?
I obviously don't stay in hotels in Sonoma.
Right.
But I had a few friends come from Mexico a few times, and they were like, "Oh, we'll take care of ourselves. Don't worry about it." And then they ended up choosing Pueblo, and I was like, "That's why." And they told me, "Oh, price point, blah, blah," and then they came back and did it again. So I'm like, "Oh, they really liked it."
It's a great hotel. Yeah. It is great price. Aranda, general manager, Wendy, the owner. It's family run, family owned, really low key. I like it. But probably El Pueblo. I know the Hilton, Best Western Hilton can do it. The former Best Western is now Sonoma Valley and is now a Hilton. Apologies. Sonoma Valley.
Yeah, by Black Bear. By Whole Foods. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
The Fairmont says they welcome all pet family members.
Interesting.
Oftentimes, if you're traveling with
no limitations.
Well, and that's like chimpanzees, right? Like chimpanzees.
Or my goat. I don't know if I'd take my goat.
The problem with goats is that they can be both pets and tacos.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to decide early on.
What are we doing? What are we doing here?
Where's this goat going to go? It's like having a pet pig, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's limitations. I'm going to ask them. But you have to pay a fee oftentimes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, just make sure it doesn't, because cats and stuff. But so you can stay right meow with a cat in different hotels in Sonoma. Please call ahead. Please ask about the pet policy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to check on the goats.
Yeah, so might as well know.
Goats
or where the range lands.
Have you ever actually raised a goat?
Not me directly, but my father-in-law has a bunch behind right on Verano.
Oh, he does.
Okay. Yeah, he's got like a nice little
plot of land there.
Yeah, and it's his brother. But still, it's my father-in-law's home, and they have a bunch of goats.
Are they meat goats or dairy goats?
I don't know what they're doing with them, to be honest. Probably meat.
Or just clearing land goats.
No, I'm pretty sure they'll be meat. Okay. I don't think that. I think they're birria in the future.
Birria is delicious, and that's the whole point. Goats are kind of jerks. We've discussed this earlier on podcast because baby goats are beautiful and cute, and they do goat yoga.
Yeah.
And then we become like teenager male goats.
Sabotage.
They're the worst.
Yeah.
They knock you over. They smell like hell.
Yeah.
They're mean. But you're right. They are delicious in birria.
They can be. The recipe's right. The recipe's right.
You got to decide how to do it. Sal, you answered all the questions correctly.
Great.
You're amazing, dude. You got it.
Off to a good Friday.
You did it, exactly. So, hey, I'm so glad you're able to make it.
Thank you.
I know you're a busy guy. You probably started 3 businesses since we've been here. Before we go, though, again, give me the website again for Picazo Café.
PicazoCafe.com.
Okay.
Yeah, or Sonoma.eatpicazo.com.
Or go to the main, and I bet you
the main page, and then but still, make your orders online just to avoid the line.
Avoid the line.
Avoid the line.
Order online.
Order online.
I like that. And then if they want to order 25 cases of the Luna Mezcal.
Southern for wholesale, Southern Glacier Wine and Spirit for wholesale. Okay. But if you guys want a special bottle that maybe is not released in the general market, shop.lalunamezcal.com is going to be where you want to go.
Okay.
Shop.lalunamezcal.com.
LaLunaMezcal.com. La Luna, Laluna.
La Luna.
The moon, like the Valley of the Moon in Sonoma Valley.
Valley of the Moon, yeah. So it's La Luna Mezcal is your mezcal. It's the Valley's mezcal. They should embrace it and enjoy it. And I have successfully converted so many first-time mezcal drinkers or non-fans of mezcal because they've had bad experiences to mezcal lovers after events we've done here in Sonoma.
I don't doubt it because you got the enthusiasm for it and the passion for it, and you're the guy that.
No, but they have to like the juice because I could talk all I want, but if you don't like the juice, then what are we doing? They like the juice. They like the juice. Yeah, that's the whole point. It's like they don't think they can.
Right.
Then they try it, and funny enough, because we do a lot of expressions, they're like by the 8th one, they're like, "Oh, that's smoother than the first." Like, no. Let's revisit the first. Something else might have happened.
You're just on the 8th.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, we'll have you back for that then.
All right.
All right. So after you've done that, after you've gone to the website for Picazo Cafe and ordered ahead of time, after you've ordered a special bottle from La Luna Mezcal to try it out, after you've done all that, please go to SonomaValley.com for deals, special offers, and events, and find out what's happening with the holidays here in Sonoma Valley. Sal, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later, Mom and Dad. I hope you're doing well. Bye-bye.